Hello again, IanXIlyana, veteran, owner of Mars Now, the space agency, survivor of PTSD. I just cannot fucking time this perfectly. More PTSD triggers, more PTSD triggers. So I go down to get my food, and the person says, here's your food. I go and pick it up. And I try to get on the elevator to go get my food. And as the elevator ends on my floor, there's someone with their fucking kid like right there. So I'm like, ew. So I close the fucking door and then it pulls itself down toward the lobby. And there in the lobby, dun 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 dun, a man with his kid, his girl, and they're blocking my way. So unless I'm gonna head back up the fucking you know, elevator shaft, I'm gonna have to deal with an old woman or a young woman. Either way, subliminal messaging clearly. It's like you want to have kids, and you're at this weird nebulous stage where it's if you choose an older woman, older women a little bit more stable. But if you choose younger, I'm not choosing either. Okay. First of all, gay. Second of all, PTSD from military sexual trauma. So any chance of me finding my Asian bride has just been dashed because every fucking day it's just, can we shove women on you? Can we shove women on you? That's what California has decided to do. It's not, there's a woman over there. Is she pretty? You think she's hot? You can talk to her if you want. If you want. No, California doesn't play that game. California is more of the when you're gonna hit it and quit it. When you're gonna hit it and quit it. Bust up in that, bust up in that, bust up in that. It's just like, where the fuck is the romance? Number one, and number two, like, do you not see that this is fucking creepy, California? This is just creepy. And I know that this was just the look of. There is no such thing as random in California. This was a fucking setup from the beginning. And it's just like, what options did I fucking have in that kind of situation? It's. I mean, I'm not gonna go Lara Croft and Tomb Raid through the entire fucking building just to bring a sandwich to my place. I know, like this is the reason why I didn't want an apartment because I didn't want to interact with neighbors. I kind of liked the idea that you're in a spot where everyone agrees you're on a holiday and it's you time. So when you down illegal, good girl. See what I have to deal with. Either way, but the whole point of this kind of living arrangement that I'm in right now is they're not your neighbors. There's no reason to say hi. There's no reason to interact. Like I hit the bottom of the lobby and I held the thing in front of my fucking face, the food, and I said, it smelled so good. I had to come back to the lobby. And then I walked outside and it's just creepiness. It's just creepiness. It's just creepiness. And I know that this was like the wrong time because it's like I could get this shit at midnight. I could get this shit at 3 a.m. I mean, I have that luxury. But is it really luxury? Is it really luxury if the price of it is we would like to stick a female in your face every single day, every single chance that we can get because we pay you because you were sexually abused and we continue to pay you because you're sexually abused? that is America's attitude in all of this. It's we will continue to pay you as long as we can continue to sexually abuse you or torture you in any way. That shit fucking ends, at the end of this fucking week because I start Green Future Go and speaking to an all male clientele and really limiting the amount of time that I'm going to be spending with the female gender. Like that shit fucking ends. And by the way, I'm gonna eat my fucking sandwich because I'm hungry and it's disintegrating. Right. Ah, messy boy. Mm. But it did go into something I wanted to talk about. Oh, thank you for the compliment. I'm gonna leave your comment there because whatever. Men's health is not something that we discuss. There's a whole magazine toward that. People don't read it. Not enough men read it because they're afraid. They're afraid because they put like really hot male celebrities on the cover and they're like, look at my abs, look at my body, which is wonderful. But then that puts off a lot of men and they're like, I don't look like that. Why the fuck do I need to buy this magazine? It's like, well, if you've read the magazine, they have fitness tips, they have nutrition tips, they have dating advice, they have everything, business advice. But men don't want to read that. So hopefully, if you're a man, you speak to your doctor and you get that advice that you need. Otherwise, unsolicited and highly, highly, it's just wrong to do. But I do it anyway. I'm going to talk about men's health, specifically the relationship with meat. I'm big on the whole once upon a time thing, so forgive me. Once upon a time, men lived very differently. They would go and they would hunt and they would come back with deer, boar, bear, rabbit, whatever they can fucking find. And they would sit down by the campfire, hand over all the food, and they would tell the women, because the women were chefs, cook this meat. Cook this meat and prepare it for them. And the women would always say, here, would you like some veggies to go with that? It tastes a little bit better. Eat this with that. And the men would say, nah, I'm good. But they would eat the meat. And the men who ate the meat, they were strong. They had high sex drives. Their hair was long, thick, luxurious. Did they have things like high blood pressure? Yes. But when you talk to a doctor from this Western school of medicine, they say high blood pressure is bad. It's hypertension. Hypertension. Now, I'm very English, so let me explain it to you semantically. Hypertension means it's a lot of tension. But is that a bad thing? Is it a bad thing to have a lot of tension if, I don't know, there's an earthquake and the building is shaking, and if you don't fucking move your fat ass to the closet or the nearest doorway hinge, the rest of the fucking floor is about to give out, and that's all you have. So move your ass. Hypertension is not a bad thing. High cholesterol is not a bad thing. Depends on the kind of cholesterol you have. But even the bad cholesterol is good. It's cholesterol. What the fuck do you think your hair is? You know, wake up, man. Wake up. You vain as fuck, just like I'm vain as fuck. They talk about, oh my god, male pattern baldness. Patterned. If they had a pattern for it, that would be kind of funny. But male pattern baldness, they say, oh my god, it's genetic. If your father had it, and then your grandfather had it, chances are you'll have it. It's not that fucking simple. Yeah, people are genetically predisposed to having cue ball heads. But then it doesn't help when people try and spook you off eating food, spook you off eating meat. Now, I speak this as someone who loves being a vegan on occasion, but then I actually have to look at my health and say, no, bitch, eat that fucking meat. Huh. Chew. God bless fucking cinema. God bless fucking cinema. Because they have glamorized being out of shape without you even realizing it. When you look at celebrities who have 8 packs and the muscles are for days and, just huge and hulking and whoa, man, you're so big. They're dehydrated. They're malnourished. They got rid of all the fat, but sometimes that fat protects you. Protects you from weapons. It protects you from disease. How many people's lives have been saved because a virus or a bacteria just got lost in the fat cells and couldn't find its way out? That is the other side of medicine. Subcutaneous fat has a purpose. You may not look at it and say, thank goodness I'm a fat fuck. Thank goodness my breasts, my man pecs are pendulous and that I can do this with it. Thank goodness. But yes, thank goodness. Because when I do stuff like that, it shows that I still have testosterone. I actually have more testosterone. I'm more horny because I'm fat. Skinny people have high sex drives. They do. You get rid of the fat, and you feel more energetic. We have the blood flow going. You have everything, but you just don't have the sex hormones. There's a thin line between obese and chunkalicious. No one can really define that for you. You really should speak to your doctor about it, but it's super important to find out where your line is. And also, if someone finds you attractive when you're chunkalicious, then they're in it for the long haul. When they see you and you're perfect and you got this and all that, they're not really interested in that. They're looking at the domesticated version of that, the version that doesn't go to the gym anymore, because that version can sit on the couch with them and cuddle until you break up, and then you look at yourself and say, holy shit, that motherfucker put 20 pounds on my body and I let that happen. These are the conversations men should have. but somehow never get the time to do so. But because I have all these women just fucking bothering me, and I'd rather cathartically just release that energy in a productive way, that's what I'm going to do. Because science and the VA would probably say, look, you don't like having women around, you're going to have to medicate because the women are around everywhere. And I say, yeah, but I also have the right to say, back the fuck up. I'm exiting. Now, I didn't want to do that because I didn't want that fucking kid to start screaming and crying because this hairy werewolf person said, get the fuck away from me. But I am losing my patience with you California people. I'm really losing my patience. So if I have to make some kids cry to tell them to get the fuck out my way as I'm passing by with two wild animals, oh, they're dogs. It's like, no, no, those are wild animals. We domesticated them and they are domesticated. But don't think for a second that if you pull on its tail because you're a fucking bastard, that these things won't fucking snap around and bite you. And they'd be justified too, because you just attacked my dog. So don't think for a second I will not scream at a child to get the fuck back as I exit the fucking elevator, because I will take it to that point, California. Don't fuck with me. Smoothie break. That's where things are. I wanted to talk about the relationship between men and nutrition. Because a lot of men, they're seduced. Seduced. I say seduced because there is nothing more gay than going to the gym because you want muscles like your favorite celebrity. If you say, I want to be big like Arnold, it's like, no, you want to fuck Arnold. And there's nothing wrong with saying you want to fuck Arnold Schwarzenegger. The man is fucking sex on legs. Personified sex on legs. If you want to look like him, be him, enjoy all of his muscles and all of his glory, you're gay for him, and that's okay. Just admit the fact that you're gay, and you can maybe move forward with your life, and maybe come to your senses and say, "Yeah, well, it's really hard to reach something like that." For him, he's got perfect genetics, so it was easier for him. But like I say, men get seduced, seduced. Chris Pratt, I love talking about him because he was fat as fuck. That man was super fucking chunky and funny, but he was so lovable, so lovable. And then he got fit for a movie, and he just said, "Fucking, I'll stay that way." But now he's stuck. He can't go backwards and say, "Yeah, I'll get chunkalicious." He's not going to accept roles for that. People are like, "We've seen you with abs now. We can't go back. We can't go back, so we won't let you." And so he's just trapped that way. And it's like, do you really want to be trapped that way? Because it's really easy to say it's comfortable to be fat. There's no pressure. There's no one expecting anything more. People make fun of the fat person all they want, but that fat person goes home and they eat a nice meal. Chew. You can spend your whole life eating kale shakes, being miserable. But while you're being miserable, while you're on your little health kick, you'll be out of balance. Ever heard that term too healthy or healed to death? That's what happens to people. It's slow, but it's insidious. You can have too many minerals in your body. You can have too much of your vitamins too. You never have too many mushrooms, though. I happen to be a mushroom connoisseur, so as many mushrooms as I can shove into my mouth. Blessed be. Hmm. You have to make some choices in your life. I won't make them for you, but it's something that you should probably think about. If you enjoy this podcast, I invite you speak to your doctor, but be honest about what you want out of your life. Smoothie break. Mm. But yeah, super fucking awkward. Like, what the fuck is going on? I get ambushed every fucking time I try and get my food or anything fucking delivered. I say ambushed because it's just off-putting to have people right there. True. Mm. Mm. I'm good. Your girl's throat just closed up for a second. Speaking of which, I cannot believe, I cannot believe this. I'm gonna have to break this news because I don't even know how to do it. Vivica A. Fox. I don't know why. I don't know why. But Vivica A. Fox agreed, paid money. I don't know. I didn't even charge money. I don't know what the fuck was going on there. But she paid money to go clean the litter in downtown LA because I was going to be there. So that's what's supposed to happen on this Friday, which makes no sense. Because it's like, do you want to meet Vivica A. Fox? Stars. She's a star. She's a star. Idle hands. Like any any movie in like the past. Yeah, she's just always been like everything. Everything. Like, she's my homegirl. I mean, PTSD out the side. I would love, 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 love to meet Vivica A. Fox. And like I said, I don't have a problem with celebrity women. Celebrity women, they're respectful. Sometimes. Sometimes they can be really respectful when they think that you're a civilian and not a musician or on the same level. They'll treat you like that. They'll treat you like that, and they'll be like, "Nah, it's cool, it's cool. I'll just pose like this. That's fine. That's fine." I had Charlie Cox right next to me. I can't get over that. He's so hot. He's so hot. And he flexed next to me, and his muscles and tattoos were showing. And I was just like, I like you. I like you so much. I like you since Stardust. You were like this big, and you didn't have as much hairy chest, but it was beginning to be there, but you didn't grow into that. It just happened later on. But you were still sexy. Still, I have a thing for Charlie Cox. I mean, name aside, I just do. I just do. And I was next to him like not once, but like I think 3 or 4 times. Like I got to be like up next to him, and like I it was amazing. So yeah, so now I don't know what I'm gonna do because it's Vivica A. Fox, and I don't really want to stand up a celebrity, but like, can you imagine Vivica A. Fox is gonna be there and be like, "I'm here with my trash bag and my jewelry and my nails done, and I'm here to hang out with Ian and Liana and pick up some litter in downtown LA." I cannot believe this could possibly be real. Like, how did she even find out about this? It's just when you're a star of that magnitude, and I don't know. It's just like you couldn't find a spa day or something. You want to slum it with me? Cleaning the city. Just picking up litter, dodging homeless people because you're rich. Like, really? This is fucking bonkers. But I checked it out. It seems legitimate. So, like, what do I do? Like, I'm not in Los Angeles. I left Los Angeles because those people are fucking creepy. The people are fucking creepy here too. So, yeah. And I tried my hardest to like fucking end the events, but it wouldn't even fucking let me. So that thing is going on. People are showing up because I suggested, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we cleaned the city? And people started to actually show up and do that. Jedi mind, whatever. I don't know how to feel about that. Thank you. I have to say thank you because the city doesn't. But I want to say at least two people showed up, and one of them is a major celebrity. Hello, Linda. How you been? I'm just drooling over food here. Mm, mm. Oh, thank you so much. I could use the blessings. Thank you, Linda. Mm. It's been rough. It's been rough with my PTSD because I do my best. I spend like my day like a classic French nobleman. I don't fucking leave the room. It's just like, what would you go? I'm sorry. What would you go? I'm English. I cannot get anything right. They invented that version of the language, and I butcher it every single chance I get. Why? Must be the native in me. Nah, I cannot speak English. Where would you go? What would you do? That's the situation that I'm in because, as I said, the last time I went out to, I guess, their version of a mall in this town, I just, I felt so fucking awkward. So awkward. Because here I am, you know, goth to the motherfucking tilt, and all these people are like milling about and everything, and I'm just saying, I did not fit into this. It's like, where do you fit in? And then now with this whole Vivica A. Fox thing, like, her name is fucking etched in here. There are people who you geek out over. Like, I geek out over Kristen Ritter from Jessica Jones because I found her character cool and amazing, and she wore a leather jacket. I wear a leather jacket, so it's just like cool fest. But Vivica A. Fox, you say her name and you just say, "I know all your movies. I can't list them right now." Idle hands. It's all I can fucking think of is her and the little. Oh my god. Ella Enchanted. I'm gonna teach that white girl you're gonna get the obey spell. Well, she won't listen. She won't listen. Bitch, obey. I cannot get over the fact that Vivica A. Fox wanted to. I don't know. Like, if this is legitimate, I am so sorry, Vivica. I am so sorry that I couldn't tough out Los Angeles in order to meet you properly. But I wanted to. You see, that's the problem. I wanted to meet Vivica A. Fox and just say thank you for just the most wonderful movies, the transformative experience of cinema that just took me out of that hellhole, which is life sometimes. Thank you for doing what you do without the PTSD, without the baggage that comes with that. But California won't let me do that. In another world, we probably could have done a movie together. You know, she could play my sister. She can play anything. She is just so cool. I would love to be on set with her. She would probably tell me stories of just the business and everything. And I don't know. It's just because how rare is it that you get British, people of color? It's more and more common than you think. But either way, it would have been cool. But I have this unfortunate mental illness, PTSD, because of military sexual trauma. So that closes a lot of doors. And I am really focused on being that person of color who doesn't get on a screen, but instead goes to Mars because we don't have enough people of color in STEMs because they are seduced by almost everything else or just trying to stay alive in a country that has never truly apologized or tried to understand the ramifications of years of segregation, oppression, racism, and just hatred. Years of that. You don't repair that overnight. You don't repair that over a century. That takes so much, so much. So I'm gonna do my part, and I'm gonna take this black juicy ass to Mars, so I can show other people of color you can do that too. Because that's the only thing that would really wake them up. Because you've had black CEOs, you've had black people shatter, records and just take over the music industry. You've had black people in the space industry, but nobody really talks about it. It took that movie, Hidden Figures, to I cannot talk about that movie enough. But it took that movie to remind people of color, don't you know that you're descended from genius? Not to say that other races aren't descended from genius. They're all descended from genius. We're all descended from genius. But life gets in the way. And then you take your talent, the genetic talent that you have, and you just say, I have to get through this day. I have to get through this week. I got to get through this month. Maybe next year I'll make something of my life. And next year's not guaranteed. It really isn't. I talked in the last podcast about there's some parts of this country that are inherently evil. You could be nice about it and say, well, it's just a high crime area, you know, whatever. They got drugs, whatever. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to say that place is just fucking evil. And we need to get people out of it. But nobody wants to leave. People just want to stay embedded in these towns and these villages where they know something's wrong, but they're scared of something new. They're scared of not having the familiar parachute of mediocrity. Mediocrity is more seductive than success because you're familiar with it. I say this as a person and I'm eating fast food. I could be eating filet mignon, but it's what my body needs, so I'm eating it. Mm. Chew. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot of pressure, but some people, they don't know what their purpose is in life. My purpose in life is to make not America, but the entire globe a type 1 civilization. That's my purpose in life. Because when you throw people up into space, you see the best of them. You probably see some horrible things there too, but you really do see the best of them. And I really do wonder, how people's lives would be changed if you lived on a space station. You could travel to it easily, and that's where you lived. We talk about these space stations, and I just want to cry. I just want to cry because we talk about these space stations like that's where the science happens. That could be true, but that's where we belong. The Earth is for farming, maybe mining. Use this shit up. I don't fucking care. But you need to get people out of that because you can't share the earth with this overwhelming, all consuming desire to destroy everything. And that's what we're doing. So I have Mars now, my space agency. I am who I am. I don't consider myself the genius definitive version of it. But if I can encourage people to get up there, get up into space, get up into space. Wow, I am ghetto as fuck. This is what happens when you have someone like Vivica A. Fox in your inbox. You just live that life for fucking seconds at a time. Okay. What I'm trying to say, but very, very poorly, when people start going into space, life changes for them. Imagine a world where there's no traffic. Imagine a world where there's always food. Imagine a world where you had a room, rather nice one, and it was yours, guaranteed, as long as you need it. You don't pay it on. That weight, that weight that sits on your chest, that that holds you down, would be gone because you could maybe think, maybe focus on something else. And every first of the month, when people look at their bills and they say, "I've got to pay that rent," whack, there goes that whip. There goes that whip. Why people don't think they're being whipped sometimes? You're being whipped. Every time you have someone tell you, you don't own that space. You don't belong here if you don't give me money. You're being whipped, you're a slave. Now, I mean, I really don't like the fact that it took someone sexually abusing me to come to this epiphany and to not deal with that. But yeah, that's the reality of what's going on in the world. So you have to break free from that, or at least that's what Mars Now is going to do. Because when we have a public option, that means that you could do it remotely. You could be part of my space agency right where you are and reap the benefits because I'm going to Mars to be a farmer. Because I cannot get my American Farmer Protection Act passed in American legislature. So I say, fuck it. I'll go to another planet and be a farmer there, where it just makes more sense. And hello, welcome to the channel. Hi there. So yeah, I'm just endlessly pontificating on a world that I think maybe some people would prefer. Some people like the idea of someone's foot being on their neck and have them in their chokehold. Some people like that. I don't. I don't like yokes. One of the reasons why I'm not in the military anymore. Because, yeah, they were trying to cut my hair. And my hair is so pretty. Like, why would you cut this? I mean, before I joined the military, I had blonde hair down to here and I was a model. I didn't know it, but I was so pretty. So, so pretty. And now, I mean, I have to keep this beard because I don't like want to give women the idea that they can talk to me. But I really have to just be a sex symbol and just say, yeah, if women want to admire it from afar or online, that's fine, but just not in person because I'm extremely cute. I just refuse to shave my beard because if I did, I would. There's a part of me that wants to shave it so badly because I like being cute. I like being cute and adorable. I mean, I also like being a werewolf, but couldn't I be a werewolf without the beard? Like this is the shit that I fucking have to deal with because I can't enjoy space where I don't feel like pressured by having women near me. So I just say, no, I'll just stay fucking ugly. Smoothie break. I cannot stop thinking about that beautiful white thug that was in the lobby earlier today. Like, if he never tried chocolate before, he would have that night. Oh my god, he was so hot. Neck tattoo, everything. And I'm so pretty. My big pecs. Mm. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm so emotional about this. I don't know. Can I imagine a world where I didn't have my beard, I dressed provocatively, and I just was empowered to tell women no, and if it escalated, beat the fucking shit out of them and let the police sort it out. That's where we are right now. I don't know if you understand the level of escalation, but I have police reports. I will take the fucking call. I will take the call. I will take the call. My phone records when I had to call the police because a woman sexually assaulted me. I am well within my rights to defend my body. I have been attacked several times by you fucking California people, physically and sexually. Don't fuck with me. I don't want to be that person who, puts that out into the universe, but I don't want to put into the universe that it's okay to approach me. It really isn't. Unless you're that white wigger with those tattoos and you want some of this. Other than that, you can fuck right off. I don't have to be chit chat with you. I ain't gotta do shit. That's where it is. Unless you want to talk online. You can always do that. Smoothie break. Mm. I want to swallow. I want to swallow as much cum as possible. Much cum as possible. It's like women provide some titty milk, but it's not titty milk that I need. I need semen. So fuck off. Smoothie break. I don't know what California wants. Like, I'm here to try and save as many lives as possible. And I think they kind of get that too. And I guess in a way that they're trying to harass me so I stay indoors. But if you have to harass me to tell me to fucking stay indoors, then that means that there's something wrong outdoors that you're not addressing. I want to talk about this. Of course, I want to talk about this. Bethesda is like my favorite company. It really is. Because some companies like Disney and Bethesda, they have this impetus to give you entertainment, but also education. I play Starfield, and because of circumstances, I have to play it online. And I guess because I played online, it reconfigured itself or whatever. But I got this really fucking weird mission. Go to this outpost and defend it from spaces, whatever. But like everything in it is like a portion of my life or whatever. And then like there's a lot of metaphors there that are like so specific that I could say, I think the game is kind of morphing itself around me. And yeah, that is the narcissist in me. But if Bethesda wants to comment, but I think the thing that I was referring to was actually a fan creation. But I wonder because it's just weird. It is just weird. Anyway, I went to this mission and I went to the infirmary, and there were so many injured people. There were injured security people, there were injured scientists, there were injured citizens, and it made me think, is that kind of what California is? California is the state where people who are victims of bullying or prejudice go to, and then they recuperate slowly but surely because there's vitamin D and the food is good. Oh, sucker, sucker! My God, that fucking show. Either way, I saw all these people on the barracks, and I said, "There's something to that, and if I can address it, I will." Because just starting with the UC security that I saw on United Colony Security, whatever. Uh, I saw that person just lying on the cot, and just almost catatonic, just trying to pull themselves back together. And I say, isn't that the police and the military in real life? Like, what would be the allegory to? What would be the comparison to a real life? Terrible in English. Sorry. How many crime scenes does a police officer have to go to before you say to them, I think you've seen enough? How many? Is there even is there even a number? Is it just a look that says, I've seen enough? But we don't talk to them. How often do you really talk to your police? There's a difference between I wish Americans could travel. I wish Americans could see the world and see it, maybe not from my perspective, but there's a reason why language is the way it is. I believe in Ireland they call their police guards, Garda, because they understood the concept of a town guard, not a policeman. A policeman is metropolitan. It's granted power and jurisdiction by the Queen herself. But a town guard is someone you know. someone who's a part of the community. You know them, you know their family, you know them. They're uniquely positioned to know the area. And somehow in America, we don't think that way. Sure, we have local police, we do, but just because they have a building in your town doesn't mean they know you, and doesn't mean you know them. Maybe it's because I'm a small town person that I think that that's a huge, huge deal. It's a huge deal to actually have the people empowered to have weapons and enforce the law be people you know. Before its shortcomings, that's just how America deals with things. Dehumanizes it, makes it corporate. People have to ask themselves, what do they want? Do they want the faceless machines as their judge jury? Because that's where we're going. Play a lot of video games, and the video games are trying to just say, hey, please pay attention, please pay attention. We have this game Arc Raiders, and I don't play it often because that game is just too fucking brutal. It's enough to make you cry. It's enough to make you cry. I much prefer the Japanese version of it. Because whatever this is, it is just fucking brutal. But it's talking about a future that we're gonna have to deal with. We're gonna have to deal with the fact that the military and the government have a lot of drones. A lot of drones. And we as civilians, we have to get a license for it. We gotta, keep it out of certain areas. But they pretty much have the powers you allow them. So if you allow them to just keep producing more, they'll keep producing more. And they'll use it as they see fit. Could they use it to, maybe deter some crimes? Fuck yeah. But don't you want a civilian counterpart to that to say, did you have to use it this way? How much force did you use? Was there any other way? For example, gang violence. You could stop a gang shootout by using technology. You could stop that. And you could stop police officers from having to put themselves in the position to be cannon fodder for these thugs that I just want to suck off. But it's because it's so hard to find attractive policemen to do that too. I am a horny person, so I cannot think straight when I see cute guys. I'm such a boy about these things. Either way, you could use technology to solve that. I mean, you put a drone there and the drone fucking takes care of it. Good. Okay. Well, how much force do you use? Because people are gonna have that conversation sooner or later and say, well, fuck, the police aren't really doing a good job. And but the police are fucking tired. And you have to admit, if you saw the amount of human cruelty that they have to deal with, you'd be fucked up too. So where does that leave us? I keep talking about I hate that word, but a singularity where humans and machines just, you recognize it's a part of your life. Do you want robot policemen? Do you want Robocop? Or do you want a world where crime just plummets because it's just beneath you, literally beneath you, on the surface of that planet, because you now live in space, where you have to say, yeah, I mean, I could steal, an extra bread roll from somebody's plate, but then there's an airlock right there. Well, as that may be, that might be a fucking deterrent to crime. I mean, how much crime would you really commit if the penalty was the fucking airlock? You push one person through that, done, done. I mean, they used to do public executions, and I'm not for capital punishment. I'm just for practicality. Practicality. You know why people steal sometimes? They steal because they don't have anything. There are some people who steal because they're just terrible people. But sometimes people steal because they have nothing and they feel like that's the only way. They didn't know any better. Or they knew better, but it's just, it's too easy. Going into space is a more difficult thing. Telling an entire country, let's go to space, telling an entire planet, now is the time to go into space, is a difficult thing, but that is what we need. I look at things like Ukraine and Israel and whatever, else is going on there, and I just say to myself, what the fuck are you fighting over? What the fuck are you fighting over? Get the fuck into space. Get the fuck into space. Iron your shit out and just leave this crap behind. Live the better life. Live the better life. One where, you have better medical care, you have better food, you have the best and brightest minds of the entire generation, and they're there in space with you. How amazing would that be? Instead of the United Nations, this out of touch organization, you just said, why the fuck do I need to beg you people for shit? There's a fucking expanse of space to explore where you could just say, well, fuck it. I built my own space station. Or, there's a little module over there. It floats around. And when I need to, I fucking dock it. Something to consider. It could buy me a boat. Maybe I'm a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll. But I really think that we were better off when we were maritime, when we were seafaring folk, because we would go out into the ocean and we would. I am a medicine man, so I have the very very strange ability to um transverse through time. But anyway, once upon a time, I'm that once upon a time bitch. You would go out into the ocean and you would live off that, and you would be by yourself. You'd have your crew, and those people were your family. And that you didn't agree on everything. You didn't agree, but you needed each other. So you did have to work things out. You had a job and you did it. Here, people are rudderless because they hold an oar to themselves. When you hold one oar, what do? You just go in a circle. Go in a circle. And you need two oars. Nobody should force you into having two oars because sometimes someone has an oar and because of the way that they pull it, you still go in circles. So, what's the real solution? But since you're here, I'm going to share it with you. You have more than one oar. The idea of marriage, about partners, and marriage is the union between a man and a woman. You some brainwashed motherfuckers because marriage could be I love you, Larry. I'm not gonna fuck you, Larry, but I love you, Larry. That is useful. Useful. I love that movie. I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry, whatever it is. He got insurance out of it. He didn't end up, like truly loving him, and there's whole penalties of that and whatever. But the idea that you can form a corporation with you and your mates is gold. It is gold you can bank on. You can form a partnership with someone. I assume the risk of ordering a pizza pie. Think, people. Think. You don't have to agree on everything. But maybe if you have enough common interests with enough people, you could shape the entire fucking world to what you want. We keep talking about Washington this and 10 Downing Street that and whatever else kind of parliament you subscribe to. We don't think to ourselves, there's a lot of fucking empty space. A lot of empty space. Now, granted, just don't do anything, but there's enough space in almost every single country that you could say, be yourself there. Live your life there. That's what I'm going to do with Green Future Go. I'm not going to, it's not going to be a dating agency. It's literally going to be look around you, just realize you don't have to do it alone. Realize that you could have a safety net, you could have protection in numbers, that you don't have to live day to day if you found partners. Now, some partners you fuck, some partners you just pour the tea and giggle with. But when you have partners, things open up. Businesses understand that all the time, but people go through their lives saying, I'm not a business. I'm not a business. I'm just the customer. I'm the consumer. It's like, no, get your agency. Get your agency because you are a business. You are a fucking commodity, and they use your data because you are the business. Without you, there is no business. So get your agency there. Green Future Go and Mars Now are what I'm going to focus on. I'm trying to get my veteran gamers like off the fucking ground, but it's like so super difficult. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold on to that. But I have to focus on other things anyway. So it's more important that veterans realize that they have options than just playing video games together. So maybe I wasn't really thinking properly there, but I said it was going to be a stepping stone to maybe something better. So there's that. I'm not eating enough of my food, but I have to take breaks anyway because digestion works strangely. The longer you spread out how you eat, the more chances you get to actually digest food. Another thing that I'm trying to teach people. They used to bless your food and make it holy and whatever, but food is more effective when it's either shared or it's spaced out. So, food for thought. Either way, I'm gonna finish this. I hope I gave you enough to think about. Think about a better world, a better path for a future. Because right now, an authoritative, unchecked government, democracy under boots, people so out of touch. And I used to think they were the good people, but when you start sexually abusing American citizens, you lose credibility in my eyes. So love yourself. Choose yourself. Choose a way out of this endless cycle where you look at four walls and say, that's it. The outdoors, the outside is nothing worth fighting for, nothing worth speaking up about. When I talk about change.org/clear lay smog, I will still talk about that because I can't let it go that clean air loving California wouldn't address that the roads are the issue when it comes to smog. That those forest fires could have been avoided if you just changed the building materials that you had in those roads. Would have lowered those temperatures so those poor trees and the animals that lived in them wouldn't have been burned down. I want to get emotional about that, but I don't know any of those trees personally. And I do say that trees personally because those things are your lungs. And Americans just don't get that. Californians didn't get that. You think that the lungs are what's in your body because that's what you're taught in school. And that's wrong. And maybe it's because I'm Native American that I will educate you people. Your lungs are that and the trees. The trees, the plants, the bushes, the the moss, the algae, those are your lungs. Because without them, you wouldn't breathe a single atom of oxygen. I'm Ian Iliona. I'm an environmentalist. I hope to see you on the next podcast.